Welcome to Data Visualization with Python course. This course we are going to start from scratch, from very basic, so everyone can understand very well. So here in this course we will use Matplotlib, we will use NumPy, Pandas, etc. So here I have written some information for you only to explain or give some concept about what these libraries are and how they work. So in this course, we are going to introduce data visualization and go over an example of transforming a given visual into one which is more effective, attractive, and impactful. Now, one might ask, why would I need to learn how to visualize the data? The answer is that data visualization is a way to show a complex data in a form that is graphical and easy to understand. This can be especially useful when one is trying to explore the data and getting acquainted with it. Normally, when in our practical life, when we deal the data usually consists of thousands line or thousands records you can say. So it is very difficult to find out what actually we want with the help of our data. That is why we visualize the data, we make some graphs, and with the help of graphs we can easily understand the data, and on the basis of that visualization we can make some conclusions or summary as well. So for data visualization, here we are going to use Matplotlib. So Matplotlib is one of the most widely used, if not the most popular, data visualization library in Python. It was created by John Hunter, who was a neurobiologist and was part of a research team that was working on analyzing electrocardiography signals. ECOG for short. The team was using a proprietary software for the analysis. However, they had only one license and were taking turns in using it. So, in order to overcome this limitation, John set out to replace the proprietary software with a MATLAB based version that could be utilized by him and his teammates and that could be extended by multiple investigators. As a result, Matplotlib was originally developed as an ECOG visualization tool. Now is Pandas. What Pandas does and how we work in Python. So in computer programming, Pandas is a software library written for the Python programming language for data manipulation and analysis. In particular, it offers data structures and operations for manipulating numerical tables and time series. Pandas was created by Wes McKinney. So in pandas, usually we deal with the data frame or series. Now is the NumPy. NumPy is a Python library used for working with arrays. As I have mentioned that in pandas we use data frames or series, but in NumPy we use arrays. It also has functions for working in domain of linear algebra, Fourier transform and matrices. NumPy was created in 2005 by Travis Oliphant. It is an open source, means it's free, anyone can use it. And the most important thing is that NumPy is the short form of numerical Python. Now, what is the difference between pandas and NumPy? I already have explained to you, but here I have written few lines. The pandas module mainly works with the tabular data, whereas the NumPy module works with the numerical data. And tabular data means the data frame and series that mainly used for analyzing the data. Whereas in NumPy module offers a powerful object called an array. So what is array? What is data frame? Series? All these things we will cover in this course. So here I want to show you my file. This is our Excel file where we have to work. So these are the columns and these are all the records, and this records belongs to from 1980 to 2013, means from these are the countries, immigrants from these countries to Canada, immigration to Canada, right? The name of this file is immigration to Canada, and these are the countries, these are different columns. We will use Matplotlib, pandas, numpy, and then we will visualize our data. See, initially the data is in the raw form. So this is the raw form. With the help of this data, we can make some conclusions. If I will click on any column, so here we can see we have 180 records. So throughout this course, we will use this file, and this is the Excel file, right? So now we are going to start. First of all, we have to import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. So this is the scripting interface as PLT. Then we have to import pandas as well, and percent matplotlib inline. This is called the magic function. What it does, I will show you. Okay, so just run it. It is asterisk means it is executing or running. Okay, I will explain quickly what is this magic function is. See, when we will make some plot with the, if I will delete this and we will make some plot, after I want to make some modification on that plot, I cannot do. So if you want to modify your the same plot, so you have to also import this magic function. Now see, it is executed successfully. Now what is the meaning of this? Because our file is Excel file. If you want to import Excel file, this is the latest version you have to import. Our file is XLRD, so you have to install XLRD as well. And this is the syntax python-m pip install upgrade pip. So run it. It is executed successfully. If you want to check whether it is executed or not, so print xlrd installed and run it. It is installed, right? Okay, now see, now we have to give some name to our data frame. As our data frame is immigration to Canada, so can underscore m is my data frame name. But again, it's up to you. Whatever you want, you can assign name to your data frame. Is equal to pd dot read underscore excel, right? If you have CSV file, then you have to write down pd dot read underscore c as CSV. But here we have Excel, and now in quotation you have to give the path where your file is stored. When I will run it, you will see Unicode error. In order to avoid this error, I will write down R here and run it, so it's executed successfully. If you want to see your file is here, so you can use dot head function. And if you will assign any number, I said 2, it will give you the top 2 record of your data frame. See, it means that we are okay. If you will not write down anything here, if it is blank, execute it, it will give you the top 5 records. Similarly, if you want to see the bottom 5, then you have to delete this 2, make it just blank and execute it. It will show you the bottom 5. But if you want to see 10, 20, 30, whatever I say 2, then you have to mention here in the parenthesis. It will show you the last 2 records. So dot tail and dot head function will give you the top and bottom records. Now shape, see, this is our data frame name. Dot shape, what does dot shape? It will give you the record, means how many rows and how many columns you have. So first always represents rows. We have 179 records and 43 columns. See, these are the columns: type, coverage, OD name. These are, we have 43 columns. And the first one, it is index. It is generated automatically by the system. And keep in mind, index always starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. If we have 100 records, but if you will check this, it will start from 0, so our last record will be 99, right? Okay, now is the info. See, our data frame name dot info and run it, so it will give you the information of each record. This is 0, foreigners, Afghanistan, this, each record, right? If I will comment this and remove the comment from here, I have changed a little bit. Verbose is equal to false, and see how you will get the output. Only it will show you that 179 entries, 0 to 178, 43 columns, and so on, and its memory is 60.2 KB, right? If we will add this, so you have to make difference. If I will write down like this or this, what output you will get. Now is the describe function. So describe function will give you the statistical measure of your record. Now, what is the meaning of it? Write down your data frame name dot describe and execute it. So see, we have different columns. You will see count. We have 179 records. So records are all equal. This is the mean of area. This is the mean of this region. This is the mean of this, and so on. Maximum. These are the quartiles, minimum value. So dot describe function will give you the statistical measure. Now index. What? See, there are two different kinds of syntax. One is only the data frame name dot index and then dot index dot values. I will show you what is the difference between these two. Here you will see only it will give you the idea that it will start from 0, stop 179, and step is 1, right? So step means that it is increasing. First is 0 record, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So it is stepping by 1. Now if I will just remove this comment from here and I will run it, so you will see the difference. If you want to add dot values or without dot values, what is the output? It will give you all the indexes. It starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, so on, and the last is 178, and data type is integer. So it's up to you. I think it is better that we should use only this to avoid all these, because we already know that it starts from 0 and end to 178 or 9. Okay, now is the column. Same thing, dot columns and dot columns dot values. If you want to know the names of your columns, so run it and it will give you index. See, this is the index, type, coverage, OD name, and so on. These are all the names of your columns. But if I will add dot values, what output you will get? See here, this is now array. Now what, when we have to use this, we will discuss in this course. But keep in mind the difference. What is the difference between this and this? If you will run this, we will have here index, but if we are going to add values, then we have array. Okay, note the default type of index and column. So see, this is the columns. The first one was index here. So the default behavior of index and column is not a list. Now what is the meaning of it? I will run it. Default type means data type. What is the class? Class is pandas.core, right? Here is, see, you can see no list here. So their default behavior is not list. If you want to convert in list, then you have to use toList function. When I will execute it, you will see now the class is list, and we will use again this in our course. So this is just the basic idea of visualizing data with Python. Now it is your job to read this very slowly. It will be much more clear to you, and please practice it. See you in the next lesson, and thank you. Please subscribe to my channel, and thanks again.